up, everybody? It's BGST. We're giving our GamesCom reactions. I actually got a really full house tonight. It's a great group of people, man. I even got the man himself, which I had to do a lot of things to get him in here. Made a lot of promises.
Yeah, it's okay, Crap. I'm here every week.
No, I'm talking about the man himself, Mooch. Hey, Mooch, man. Thanks for joining us for a special occasion, kind of.
Well, I'm glad you asked me to get back on BGST because I got news for you. I'm too tired of fucking arguing with people over Twitter, so my thumbs are getting a rest.
Yeah,
good show. It was a good show. We'll get into it. Let's get through the introductions and then we'll hit some topics.
And we got Chris. He's back. You know, we got Tim Dog and Z and K Mega and Xbot 448. But we don't have
the gang's all here, man.
Yeah, we don't have the man you got to kiss his ring, the Don. I don't know. I was kind of making fun of that.
The Don's catching L's today, though, man.
Is he? Is he?
Oh,
why?
he was on next podcast saying like the leak for the Project Scorpio. When we were talking about the texture on the top, he's like, no, that's just the underside of the X1X. And me and K Mega were like, no, it's not, dude. He's like, yes, it is. So we're like, all right, we'll just wait for today. So he's holding L's today for that whole thing.
It's like etched in, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. We're gonna have to engrave his ring now with an L permanently.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I want to say this. As far as shows, I'm not sure what anybody expected. I would put that on par with something that we would see with a Nintendo Direct, something along those lines of level. I don't think it was anything great. I don't think it was. Well, it's hard saying. Like, I thought maybe they would break something out just because they had delayed Crackdown 3. So I was maybe expecting a little something. We had some leaks last night. What was it? That Hollywood, codename Hollywood. Turns out that's a Halo Wars 2 expansion. There was another game that got leaked out or whatever, and that turned out to be not something that was quite accurate either.
Biomutant, right?
Biomutant, yeah, but that's a multiplat. So yeah, so that ended up being multiplat. So that's a little bit unfortunate. We did get. Hold on, let me see what the hell this thing is because I wrote it down. Jurassic World Evolution, which is made by Frontier, so that's an exclusive. I know that might not be your guys' jam.
I'm down.
Let me explain what this game is, right? If you're an original Xbox fan, there was a game called Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Basically like this, where you built your own Jurassic Park and bred your own whatever. That game costs, I think if you buy it used, it's like $100 or more right now. Right, really good game. It's made by the people that make like Zoo Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon and stuff like that. So this is something that, you know, that's kind of a cool thing. I know it might not be everybody's deal or whatever, but to me, that's something at least new, a little bit different. You know, they put it out there. You know, I'm cool with that. But it did seem like they almost held us hostage for the you know what I mean? Like, watch this whole show. Watch Shannon and watch people with weird hair. And, you know what I mean? Watch people really awkwardly tell you about stuff. Here's Chris Charla. Because we didn't trot his ass out here at E3.
The highlight of the show was the new PR woman for Cuphead.
Yes. Yes.
The
pants, right?
Yeah, she is awesome.
Yeah, who is she?
No, honestly,
Noof Nukem just tweeted out literally as we said this. He says, "When can we pre-order her?" That's sexism, Noof. That's dead sexism.
No, she honestly, she was a very good portion of the show. She explained everything, and even the gameplay of Cuphead in the background. I was watching that. That game's coming in hot. That's going to be
that's looking good, man. I was faded. I was faded on Cuphead just for hearing it year after year and everything like that. But seeing the new gameplay and seeing how, like, in one area you were on the floor, but then you kind of you hit a card and you would go up onto the ceiling, and like the gameplay looked awesome, man. It got my interest back, yo.
Yeah, it was cool. So let me just point out a couple things here. So the big deal would be Microsoft announced that they actually extended their partnership with Bluehole, and they're publishing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds now, right? Here's the thing. We all wanted this. We were like, you got to put some money out, and Aaron went over there, and it looks like they are invested into this. The immediate reactions were they took away the console launch exclusive thing that they were doing at E3. Now it just says Xbox One exclusive. Right? So there's something up there. I noticed that right away. You see people on Twitter, and then you have one faction that's like, no, it can still come to PS4. Who knows? Like, this is one of those things the media, I'm sure, will browbeat Microsoft to death to find out when
you
this
think
game
they learned their
come.
lesson from the GamesCom with Rise of the Tomb Raider? You know, I don't understand why. What people want to hear is yes or no. So what ends up happening here is, okay, ultimately this ends up being a negative. And you're probably going, what do you mean? How is this a negative? The reason it's a negative is the media is going to do what Crap just said. They are going to browbeat them every time Phil, Aaron, Mike, etc., Larry takes the stage. They're going to get asked, how long is this thing on your console for? When's it coming to PlayStation? Instead of it being focused on them and their platform, this is going to be more of a PlayStation advertisement because they're going to continue to bring up PlayStation. Here's the thing. Either make it just game preview 6 months and be over with it. But this mutual, nobody knows what it is. You got some PR people saying it is. You got some people saying it isn't. This is another mess. It's another mess. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, this is good for Microsoft on the sales portion, because if it is for 1.5 years or a year on Xbox, ultimately, if you're a person that wants to get into PUBG, you're going to come and stay with Xbox. But this is a mess as far as public relations.
Remember when Street Fighter V came out? They were pretty clear by saying Street Fighter V is going to be exclusive to PlayStation.
Very clear, Chris.
Yo, Mooch,
here's to the point.
Here's the deal, Mooch. This is where people at Xbox gotta show their balls. Basically, if they start getting hammered with that, be like, yo, listen, I work for Xbox. Xbox is my platform. If you want to hear something about PlayStation, go talk to them. All right, and then it puts them.
Put the ball in Sony's court that they have to stutter their words.
It puts them in the corner, and if there's something there that they can't talk about, at least it puts the pressure on them on what they're gonna say.
Yeah. Like, what is your guys' thoughts just going around the room if you haven't chimed in about the PUBG stuff? For me personally, if it's a year and a half, 2 years, I don't think that it would matter. It's everybody's going to associate the game with Xbox as far as console. The other thing I'd point out is Bluehole, the actual main developer, they're 100% focused on the PC version. You have a team of 5 to 10 people in a different country that is porting this onto the Xbox, and you actually have Microsoft who sent their own developers out to help do that, and Microsoft are also publishing it. So Bluehole didn't even seem that keen on getting any other consoles when it was Microsoft to approach them, and on top of that, they want crossplay between the Xbox version and the PC version, and Sony, as you guys know, wouldn't allow that anyway because they just don't do that because they're not hashtag for the players, and so this could be something that we see hamper them in getting the game. Like, I know people are like, they'll get it for sure, but if Bluehole want crossplay between all 3 platforms and Sony's like no, and that's just even less of a reason to let them put that on the PS4. So people have to remember
we
that
all
as well.
know that Sony fans wouldn't support it. Look what they did to Lawbreakers. Made that Lawbreakers on their list, but nobody supported the fucking game. So I don't expect PlayStation kids to buy shooters.
Can somebody send me some of the links of the gaming media that had tweets out to Cliffy B that were saying, well, this is great and dandy, but when's it coming to Xbox One X? Because I can't wait. Yeah. Send me those.
Hey, Tim, what was the tweet that you tried to send? I mean, if it's legal to say.
No, it looked like the PlayStation Twitter has been hacked, and they had drama alert and all kinds of. Oh, okay. It had funny stuff, but it was obviously not cool because they're hacked. But
yeah, I was just wondering because it's all deleted. Hopefully, they get that stuff back under control here soon.
Yeah, it's just an account. It's not the network.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just the Twitter account. Yeah, I mean that happens. Tim, what was your thoughts on the PUBG? Because you were the one saying it was like a rabbit out of the hat. I felt the same way because since Crackdown 3 got pushed back, they needed something notable for this year. Now they have it.
I think that it kind of saved them some time for the conference. I think it's a big deal. I don't underestimate the deal. I mean, you look at PUBG and you see 8 million over how many months?
Since March, so it hasn't been that long.
This is Xbox got this game early, and they got the relationship early, and they have a partner now. And I think what they're going to try to do is, make it PC versus console and try to market that. And I'm down for that. Like, I know that they're trying to make it like even. I think we talked about a pre-show with Crap. They're adding like they might add some things to the console version, like auto aim. So kind of like evens you out where you play against PC.
Yeah, you'll have aim assist on console with the controller, and then of course on PC you wouldn't have that.
Right.
So I mean
they're trying to make a level playing field, and I think that they believe in that, and that's why when you talk about Sony's you know, their declaration that they're not going to do this or any kind of cross-play could hurt them here. You know, you look at the numbers, you see 8 million. You know, they don't really need Sony. I mean, when you're at that point, they're going to come to you. Sony's going to have to either break and bend or whatever if it has to be cross-play. But, you know, I think we're in a time where we should have cross-play. It'd be pretty cool if we could even, you know, say, hey, I'm a PlayStation gamer, or hey, I'm an Xbox gamer, or hey, I'm a PC Elite guy. You know, so if you beat one of those guys, it'd be pretty cool. I think it could be even, you know, something that you have a little fun with. But, you know, I mean, that's if Sony was willing to do it, which they're not. So I think overall with this deal, it's going to be a while before you hear anything about it coming off exclusive. And it's possible that they shore it up 100% like they kind of did with Titanfall.
I think that's where you're really spot on, Tim, is because I agree. Now that they've done this extended partnership, you can see that this contract is a live, living document. So it's not something that's just done and over with. It's something that seems to be a live contract. So what that means ultimately is what Tim's saying. If this ends up being a successful partnership, and it really will be, because, you know, PC and Xbox are married together, whether the two sides want to admit it or not, because Microsoft is really running the puppet strings on both sides. They can just, if this is going to continue or not. And if it does well, why wouldn't Microsoft and why wouldn't this developer want to continue that partnership and move forward? They really don't need Sony, as long as Microsoft will cut a certain check. Because, listen, I'm willing to ride along with that, Tim, as far as we can. But, listen, Sony does have a lot of customers. So they're going to turn around to Microsoft at some point and say, we've had tremendous success here, but you're going to have to cut me at least a couple of zeros off a check because I need to, you know, I got to recoup what I could have made over there. Right. And Microsoft is foolish to not put that brand on their box. So I think that's something that they're going to want to keep ultimately.
Right. And another thing that I said earlier, that this is a good substitution for COD. For not having
exactly,
you know because that was the one thing that a lot of people were talking about with the third party. Well, this is an exclusive. This is the new Titanfall, and that right there is huge for them. As long as they shore it up, don't have any type of you know, ignorant bullshit that happens. As long as they do that, then this is a great replacement. This is an exclusive. You could have the narrative of, like everybody's saying, PC against the console or against Xbox. That is huge. Crossplay can be a big, huge factor moving ahead, and it's a win-win for both sides, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're a little bit more geared towards, you know, with what Microsoft has in mind, right? As far as that, you know, what's interesting. Someone just tweeted me a bronze Xbox One X Elite controller bundle that comes with Xbox One X and an Elite controller for $599.99. Interesting.
When?
GameStop.
I didn't see that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's called a bronze Xbox One X Elite controller bundle.
What?
Yeah, it's
Where is this? I want to see this.
Somebody just tweeted it to me. Hold on, I'll include you. I'll include you guys.
A dude that I follow on Twitter, his name's Coke Logic. He's a funny man. He had tweeted that out earlier too.
Yeah. So I mean that's interesting. I think that's pretty damn cool. Hey, we got almost 800 watching. Hit the like button.
I
appreciate it.
We got like, damn, come on, people.
Yeah, you know, we got.
Picture, no crap. I don't see the picture or the link.
Oh well, somebody sent it to me.
What is it? What is it? A different?
It's just
color?
No. It's just it looks just like it's a bronze Xbox One X Elite controller bundle. Maybe they're just bundling the damn.
Is the console bronze?
No, it's just a black console. I don't know. Like, it's kind of interesting. Well, you know what? Also, is kind of interesting is, doesn't the people that they had speaking at Gamescom, like, listen, I'm not being negative on Xbox because I thought it was okay for what it was. Mainly, we all watched it because we wanted to pre-order Xbox One X's, right? And mission accomplished. I pre-ordered too. I know I'm not. Yep, I know I'm not the only one. We all pre-ordered probably more than one.
Yep. I'll be the honest one. I only did one, fellas.
Yeah, but you, Chris, to your credit, you waited. You didn't get an S. You specifically waited for the X, right?
I did, and what's funny is my day one edition Xbox One. Me and my wife were watching TV, and that fan just started. I'm like, oh boy, it sounds like it's gonna die. So. November can't come soon enough because I will not buy an S.
Yeah. Nice. I skipped out.
Well, I'm returning all my S's.
I skipped out on the S as well because I got the Elite Xbox One with the hybrid drive, and I told Mooch before on Crossfire, this is when I'm upgrading. You know.
Well, here's the thing, though. Remember, though, in Xbox, going back to that episode of Crossfire, this is what I was saying all along. You see, we all had the day ones, or you know what I mean by day ones, whether you got day one or not, the original Xbox Fat Xbox Ones. Right. Those they were giving anywhere between 125 and 175 for the trade-in for the S. I got the S for almost nothing. Now I'm going to get $200 for my S. It's a no-brainer to keep when these things come out. Get them when they come out. I'm telling you right now, folks, because there's a lot of people who are like, no, I'm not. I'm going to wait. Okay, well, if you wait, you're not going to get the like. I'm only paying $300 for the X. I'm getting $200 for my S. So even if you wait 2 years for an X to come on sale, so you're going to wait 2 years to get an X for $300, and I'm getting it on day one. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't upgrade each time.
I want to point this out, too, that GameStop apparently is offering $200 trade-ins for S's. Yeah, $200 trade-ins if you have an Xbox One S and you trade it in specifically for an X. So you could walk out the door with an X for 300 bones, right?
Yeah, and I can't wait. That Gears of War one can't leave the house soon enough.
You're hurting my feelings there, Mooch.
Hey, listen, I'm cheaper than the Pro. So
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
I'm going to probably do an Xbox One original and 2 S's. Yeah, I'm kind of like downsizing, so I'm gonna. End of the day, I want to have by or around Christmas 3 X's. That's what I want. I'm just gonna game on that. I can't go back. Once you touch something like that, you just can't.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm like that. Even when I touch the UI, I hate going back to like the old style. I just when you move forward, you move forward. It's like when I got the S and I looked at the old Xbox OG, and I look at it, yeah.
You can tell, guys, just so you know, Tim, that's a New York state of mind because I feel the same way. Unfortunately, the people in California don't feel that way because they put their consoles in their backpack and they hold on to it for about 7 years.
Mooch, I'm in the tri-state area, and I gotta agree with you and Tim on that. And even when it comes to the new UI, I've been navigating it a lot more, and I'm a lot more comfortable with it. And there are certain things where this UI is fast as shit, and I'm starting to like it, man. You know?
Yeah.
I like the way it looks.
Yeah, go ahead, Z. I see you trying to chime in, man. What's up?
Let me ask you a question. Well, I think everywhere they're sold out. Now, they're just sold out of the Scorpio edition and more to come?
Yeah, well, the Scorpio edition sold out. Yeah, that's sold out. The other ones are selling out on Amazon as well. So
you got more out there?
I don't know.
Ones, right?
Some of the regular ones might be left, but those are going fast as well.
You can get it at Microsoft Store.
Microsoft Store was late to get theirs open as well because I pre-ordered one from there as well. They were almost an hour late getting theirs open, and then it took forever. It was like a lot of lag trying to actually get that to complete. So
how many you getting?
I got 2.
Oh, so you're gonna sell one or just keep both of them?
I might keep both. It depends on because I got 2 Scorpio limited edition, even though Mooch was like, who even cares about that? Scorpio editions.
Well, yeah, I still think it's ridiculous, but I mean,
I like it on the console.
Hey,
listen, when you're a Mooch, you don't look a gift Mooch in the mouth. You take the gift. Okay?
But Mooch, here's the thing: you could have pre-ordered the Scorpio version or the non-Scorpio, and you chose to order Scorpio versions. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm on YouTube, buddy. What do you want me to do? You meet people be like, "Why did you get the Scorpio one, Mooch?" Come on, man. Who the hell wants to tweet that much?
Man. Hey, dude, the Scorpio. Here's the thing: I don't like the Scorpio thing on the middle of the controller, but I really like the Scorpio thing on the actual Xbox console itself.
I actually like. I'm vice versa. I actually like it on the controller.
Oh, really?
The controller also has no color to it, which is awesome. It has the black and white buttons. Love that. Yeah, that's nice. It's completely all blacked out. I love it. The controller to me is the real like creme de la creme.
The Scorpio version, correct me if I'm wrong, it's darker than the original X as well, right?
It's hard telling.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
no, that's a good question. I'm looking at it right now.
I think it's darker, man.
Dark as
it
really is.
I'm not going to play it though. I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it right next to my S controller, and it's going to be ebony and ivory. I'm going to be just right there.
That's great.
Well, I'm checking Amazon right now. Both the regular edition and the Scorpio says it's sold out.
Yeah.
Can't pre-order it.
Yeah, well,
I'm telling you that the Scorpio is sold out. I kind of called this. Remember, within the last 2 weeks, I said, I'll get into the whole terrible Gamescom thing, right? Like, here's my real quick thought on Gamescom overall. I think that they should have done a little something extra to make it up to people, right? That's it. I don't think it was a great show. I don't think it was an awful show. It was their version of PSX as far as I'm concerned. We saw some indies. We saw some other little. Yeah, go ahead, man.
I just my thoughts on Gamescom. Like they said, they were not doing a traditional like event like an E3 in years past, right? So I went into this Gamescom expecting nothing but a pre-order. I did not care about anything else. Once I got my pre-order, cool. I turned that shit off because honestly I was kind of bored.
Yeah, it was boring.
So you waited until the end then, because that's
barely.
Yeah. Here's the problem again. Like the main problem that I'm having, and I know Tim, you might not agree or whatever, but when you see Shannon go out there and she's talking about stuff, she's like, "What do kids want to play? What do they want to play with their family?" And I'm thinking, you know what, Shannon? You're missing your audience here. Your audience isn't kids. Your audience is the people that are going to buy the X. Like, I get that maybe some younger people might play the Xbox and Minecraft is a cool thing, but when you come out and announce Disneyland Adventures, Rush, Disney Pixar Adventures, Zoo Tycoon, another remastered of a this-gen game, like, that is kind of weird to me. And then they took out the Connect functions with Pixar and Disneyland Adventures, which were Connect 360 titles that I own both. By the way, and reviewed.
I really thought Shannon, when she came out, I thought with all the the press she was getting the past week or so, I really thought she was going to come out and like wow us. I thought she was going to just knock it right out of the park.
She came out and talked Crackdown like right off the bat. Yeah.
But she came out and she talked Recore Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not what I thought I thought she was going to come out and show something we haven't seen and be floored.
Did they even talk about Crackdown? They were supposed to show it off.
No, they didn't.
Okay,
and so part of the delay. It really
somebody messaged me that they go, "Do you think it's canceled?" I said, "No, I think it would have been salt in the wound if they would have showed Crackdown."
Right.
So I mean,
no, I honestly don't think the multiplayer is still up to snuff, and they're just not going to show it when it's if there's a problem.
Yeah. Here's my thing, and maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm being a little too over dramatic. You guys hear me clear?
Yeah, we hear you.
They sound great.
You hear me in the bag.
Yeah, you hear me in the back.
Give me the TV, cocksucker. Listen, right? Check it out, right? My thing, like I said, going into Gamescom, and I understand what they say it's not a traditional show. I thought it was going to be like something like, I don't know, like the little trailer that we saw with the Fable or something. But anyway, I was expecting Microsoft to bring it because Europe is a huge market. And they're like damn near, but probably in third place now, especially after the Nintendo switches out. I wanted something. My thing is, if you're going to bring it, if you're going to go there, like this show, I don't know. And again, and I don't want nobody to lose their job. I'm not advocating for that. But that's not there. I just did like a 20-minute. This is not their market. It's kiddie casual and Disneyland. What is this? Like I don't understand. I understand those games may sell well for you, but no one's buying an Xbox One X to play Disneyland, fucking in 4K enhanced. Like, what are we doing?
Well, if it was Fantasia, I'd be buying it.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Chris.
Fantasia was great. Don't sit there and lie, people.
Who is making those decisions there? Like you're not. They seem like they're not in contact with their core audience.
Obviously, if they bought Mojang and Minecraft, they're trying to really broaden that horizon and become a part of that, community. So I can see that, but I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to the whole show, I called it a gaming conference with Dr. Phil because everybody was just sitting on the couch for like 20 minutes talking about something, right? But at the end of the day, with the two pieces of hardware that they showed, I know we're talking the X, and I know we're probably going to get into the Minecraft S. Those are two pieces of hardware that can't be overlooked. All right. When it comes to Minecraft sells in the tons, right? You look at what's going on with the X pre-orders, and, for people who track the MPDs and are all about numbers and stuff, the numbers that have been floating around about the MPDs recently, you can kiss those low numbers goodbye.
Yeah, Microsoft's going to win November for sure.
Yeah, I think after today, I know that people have some bets on this, but I can tell you that I think they did really good today. Really.
With the conference?
The pre-orders.
Not the conference.
Here's the thing. Did you see Microsoft said they're 28 countries or 28 territories or whatever. That's what they said. So, I was like, holy cat, like that is a lot. Think about this. The original Xbox One launched in 13. 13. So the Xbox One X gets a 28 under its belt. And people, and this is the thing. Again, this comes to where I said Phil should have never said it's only for a certain type of gamer or any of that stuff, right? He shut that damn dog up! God damn it!
What is his name? Pony?
So it's so funny to me, just with this whole situation, because everybody said that this thing wouldn't sell, and now it's selling out everywhere. That Scorpio one was limited edition. That's doing extremely well. That's obviously sold out. Like everybody, damn, we got over 900 watching BGST, folks.
Yeah.
Don't forget about this podcast.
Here's the thing, I wanted Microsoft to. This is their chance again to come out and put it into the criticism. Come out there and give us something.
Well, I knew Phil, without Phil being there, that we wouldn't get anything.
But this what I'm talking about. I don't know if they hear this in the book. Like I said, we're all excited about the X. It's new hardware. We're gamers. You know what I mean? And I am, like I said, I'd rather play a AAA multi-plat than a dog shit exclusive anything. I don't. This
that was on cue.
Is that, and again, with Shan, I don't know if this is her job, but I don't like the whole direction with this whole casual and the art style. That's not your thing there, man. This is that's not what made me an Xbox guy.
I agree, because Mooch has been saying this for a while too. They need something a little bit more adult. Like,
I don't know what they on their Wii U.
Or hold on, like, not adult, because when you say adult, people make you think of something weird.
I agree.
Like more
gritty, dark.
More gritty,
it has to be,
yeah.
Adult, you know,
like realistic graphics, right? That's what you're trying to say, like realism.
I don't like the art style. I don't like the art style. I don't like the direction that they're going. I don't know what it is. Like, they're trying to gap this.
I think they're just trying to be more well-rounded.
I don't think it's a hardcore direction that they're set with. I just think they're really trying to expand that horizon. And they're
Bob, hear me out. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is this: you can't forget to what got you to where you are. This is what you're trying to do. I'm not knocking you for that, but you still have to cater to the people that make it.
There is something to what Z's saying, and you can break it down like so, okay? The PlayStation 4 success this year, we've said it a million times this generation, is they emulated and mimicked the 360, okay? They took Don's old his old playbook, and they're using it. We've said this a million times. Now, you've got the same thing that Zaire is saying. He's just changing it over. Now it's not strategic marketing. Now it's games. Games, when the Xbox first came out, were a little bit more that gritty, rough them up, shoot them. Yeah. You know, that hardcore. It was an adult, more mature audience. And now it's all flip-flopped. I mean, you look at what's coming next year, right? And I mean, I know you guys, no one wants to hear it really, but Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, they're cartoony. You know, and I mean, and people are like, "What do you mean, Mooch? No, State of Decay is hardcore." It's not, because it's not though. It's a little bit more, but it's not.
You got a zombie ripping out intestines and pulling somebody's head off. That's not cartoony.
Yeah, but it is cartoony. It's cartoony in the way that I mean that, like,
graphically, the way
Dead Rising 4 was made.
Yeah,
it's Dead Rising 4 zombies.
You don't like the graphics. You would want to. I think you would want to.
Like, what's that? No Days Gone.
You would like to look at. You would like to look at like Dead Rising 3, pretty much, because that.
No, I would like it like the graphic style of No Days Gone, more realistically. You know,
well, that's Dead Rising 3. That looks more realistic.
It's like you play with your friends, and it's more of a multiplayer type co-op game. I mean, for me, I think it'll be fun. It'll be for what it's worth. I think Sea of Thieves looks really good. I think that, like, if you don't look at that when you're watching the trailer and you see when it's in a storm and how beautiful it
looks great.
That game looks insane at some points, and that just for me, I like graphics. I know,
but you'll have to say this much. But Tim, here's the thing, though. Let me. I agree with you, and I'm not saying I'm not going to enjoy these games. I'm just saying But if you stand back and think about the imagery you just painted right there for Sea of Thieves, doesn't it look like Pixar ran into the latest Disney film? Right? And I mean that's cartoony, you know. And I mean, I'm not saying that that's bad, but it's 3.5 years, except for years. That's not cartoony.
Yeah, what you're saying is you want actually something more realistic, more gritty.
Let me paint the picture. When you play, right. When you play like The Last of Us and you shoot one of those clickers and you shoot that thing, it bangs against the wall, its head splits open, you see the guts and you see it dripping down its face over an actual human nose. That's gritty, gross, realistic. Well, that's what we play. And here in Sea of Thieves, you get shot out of a cannon and then you get caught in a coffee mug. You know, and it's like, all right, that's not what I'm talking.
Yeah, that's
I know, but
again, listen, my thing, and I don't know, and again, I don't know. You guys know
Tim like that
about the bosses and what their jobs are. That's not my thing, but even like if Shannon Lawson, she's been given hell on Twitter. You know what I mean? I didn't like the way she handled the Phantom Dust thing. I first found out about my Phantom Dust. I just don't like it. Maybe I'm just a little old school. This stuff here is not what made me an Xbox guy. I just like the big over the top. And Microsoft now it's just like every time they get a chance to put their naysayers to bed and fucking close the door and everything, they still leave it for Sony to go back and snatch it and take it.
Let me point this.
Really expect it though at this GameStop.
Yeah, not at GameStop, but hold on, like, dude, they weren't even doing a real show. Like I said, this was
Bongos.
AC Bongos, and Next Gen's like, who the hell is AC Bongos?
I actually thought that I liked the other woman hostess,
the girl in the middle, right?
Yeah. Maybe you guys a question. Maybe you can say it like this, right?
I have some decent Caucasian women.
Look, so what's the purpose for us waiting to the day to pre-order the damn thing then? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I told you guys. I said, look, it didn't. To me, once they got the final FCC clearance, it was only 2 weeks to Gamescom. So to them, they were probably like, we'll do the thing. We'll make people watch Gamescom, and then we'll then we'll let them pre-order it or whatever. I get that, but here's the thing: like, I do like what they're doing, so it's not all doom and gloom. I'll explain why, and just see if you guys follow me and you guys watch and hit the like button. See if you follow me as well. The Xbox One X, all the hardcore gamers, they went out. They're gonna get this. Your brother, your sisters, your mamas, you know what I mean. Everybody's gonna get this damn. Yeah, everybody's gonna get this damn console, right? It's the new hotness, right? It's the new hotness.
That new hotness.
Yes, it is, right? Now, guess what? Guess what? The legacy system is that Minecraft console. That's the one for
limited edition, limited time.
No, that's an S though. You know, that's probably going to be like $250. Right. That's probably going to be $199 around the holidays.
They should have did a what's it called? What do you call that goddamn game? The Lord of the Rings game. See the game?
Ark.
Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor. Yeah,
they should have did a Shadow of Mordor theme console.
Well, I would do a Minecraft one over Shadow of War.
No. Hey, listen, that's not what I'm saying. That's not.
But they know that the Minecraft one was selling a lot.
I mean, what I'm saying, being that you have the marketing deals for it, the market, it's one that gives Sony their props on. Even the games that may not have been that big, like whatever, like Metal Gear, they did one for Metal Gear, it was a red console. They should have did a theme, Shadow of War theme. Also, it cost 25 cents.
They did a bundle.
It was a bundle. But I said outside the bundle, put a stick on it. Put a stick on it or something. You know what I mean? Even with the Minecraft, you guys.
The Minecraft one.
Let's talk about Minecraft for like 2.5 years. Do a Minecraft themed console.
Well, let me tell you something.
That's gonna sell great.
That is gonna fucking.
That's nice. I like it. I don't care for Minecraft. I think it's cool. I mean,
I think that's a cool thing. Yeah.
But on the fact that it's 2 years too late.
No, I understand why you would be disappointed, Zaire. The bottom line is like I said. Before E3 2017, the telltale sign for this Microsoft for what you want will be at the 2018 Xbox.
So?
They have to show up. If they don't,
oh, you think so, Tim?
Let me finish this real quick, okay? My thought. So the X, that thing's pretty much sold out or selling out. Will be very soon, like the Scorpio one. So those are sold out. You got the Minecraft stuff; those are going to sell like hotcakes. You also got the Shadow of War bundles that are going to sell extremely well for the Xbox One S as well. So you've got some bundles working. You got some different things going on there. Then you also have we've all well admitted this is the worst first party year ever in the history of Xbox. So we get that. But think about the possibilities for next year if things pan out the way they should, or at least how they're going to line up. You're having Crackdown 3, you're having Sea of Thieves, you're having State of Decay 2,
Forza Horizon 4,
Halo 6, that Jurassic World game, Ori 2. Like, you have the possibility to have some really fantastic games. Ashen. There's going to be a lot of games coming out next year. It could possibly be we go from the worst exclusives ever in the history of Xbox to the best.
Well, right? You think they're gonna have Halo 6?
I think Halo 6 is coming out next year.
I think
if they land Halo 6 next year and it's good, then they'll be back. I think this year
you feel looking turning around for them. I mean,
listen,
you're doing good. Halo 5 did over 5 million in the first 3 months. Yeah, I think they'll do okay.
What I mean by I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here. Okay, I just, we can all admit that even Gears, even Halo, they're not the juggernauts that they once were, like last generation.
Dude,
Well, it looks like Gears 4, so it looks like...
No, it's so well.
You got to realize we're talking time and day right now.
Yeah.
In a year from now, when X is really start to show its might, and you look at Pro, people got to live with that shit. You know what I mean? So when the next Halo comes out, it's going to be X. If it's really big, it's going to help Xbox. It's going to be big.
Right.
The thing is that if X is going to make money, I really think that Microsoft's going to get off their ass and they're going to start working for a game solution that they can prove to us. We feel confident. We don't want to. I get what everyone's saying or what you're saying. This was not the conference to really say that they quelled it, because they didn't. It's going to be talked about until E3 next year, and then if they don't show up, then they don't show up.
Here's the thing. What I'm saying to you, Tim, and maybe you can look at it like this, okay? They haven't did a GamesCom thing in about 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. About 2 years, right?
Yeah.
You got new hardware that's coming out, right? Regardless of what, you got new hardware, right? And everyone's your hardcore is really excited, okay? Yeah, your hardcore Xbox one, but you still got to market this thing to the casual and still try to snatch some of those Sony jokers, right? You haven't been there in 2 years. Come in and kick the goddamn door open. You know what I mean? And Gamescom is bigger than E3. So the whole little goddamn
year. It's not bigger than E3.
Yeah, it's not bigger than E3. And let me just make this point. This is a reversal of what happened with Sony last year. Remember that they had more hardware than they did have games.
Yes, and that was okay.
And that was okay. And they didn't really promote the Pro that much as well. If you would really think about it, they were actually promoting the VR more than they was promoting the Pro. And now we're having this similar type of situation with Xbox, and now it's all this doom and gloom. The one thing that the PlayStation was using at the beginning of this generation was the multiplats and the power of the console at that time, right? So now it's the Xbox turn to do the same thing. Of course, there's always going to be scrutiny for Xbox, but the thing of it is that this console is definitely going to deliver. So let them show off the multiplats. Let them take their time on what they're doing with Crackdown, because I think we all agree on this panel. If Crackdown came out to be a dud, or if we could bring back Scalebound, and if Scalebound did get canceled and it came back and my goddamn dragon is moonwalking, that's going to be a problem, and that would be 10 times worse. So the thing of it is that let them bring out their games and do the PlayStation move and bring it out in the first of the year. And let's see what they got. That's what I've been saying, is let them do what they've been saying they're going to do. If they don't in 2018, then you know what I'm saying? Look,
go
you know what I'm saying?
My bad. Yo, let's
for itself with the multiplats.
I think Crapgamer.
You've been saying, Z, the multiplats rule, right?
No. Hey, what I'm saying is this, okay? And it's not about Sony. You get Sony, because I'm more of an Xbox guy, okay? And do I feel Sony get it past? Yes, that's why this was the inception of the creation of Next Gen 720, because I felt like Microsoft was getting the fair shot in the media, okay? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? At the start of the generation, of course, Microsoft had more exclusives, right? And they kind of fell back on a third-party deal, you know what I mean? But even though here's my thing, what I don't understand, we had a shit year for AAA games for the Xbox platform, okay? You releasing Forza, which is huge for them, but it is a niche title, and everybody's into simulation races. You don't even have any of these third-party deals to show off that you can really show off with advertising and on the commercials and TVs of any of those big goddamn games. You know what I mean?
Assassin's Creed is pretty big.
Again, but it's not Destiny, it's not Call of Duty, it's damn sure not Star Wars Battlefront. I understand Assassin's Creed is big. You know what I mean? I hope it's a good
Assassin's Creed looks fucking insane.
It does.
Even though it's CGI, and telling you.
Look, I'm sorry. If you can just share my screen, and this is what you're back in the picture here. This is what this direction here. This can't be the answer.
See, I like what Crap said, man.
All I'm saying though is, look, it's like we got plenty to keep us busy this year. Like I said, Call of Duty World War II, Destiny 2. You're gonna have your Battlefront 2, Assassin's Creed. You got your Maddens, your 2Ks, your Shadow of Wars, your PUBGs, your Forza 7s. I mean, how many games can we all legitimately play at one time? Right.
So absolutely right.
Exactly, and that has nothing to do with PlayStation or anything else. I'm just talking about all the games I mentioned are playable on Xbox. Some only playable on Xbox, and and I think that people need to relax. So Microsoft is doing something that Sony has gotten away with completely for the past few years, and that is delay their games that were coming out at the end of the year into the next year early. And so now we're going to have 3 games come out early in the year, and then hopefully some heavy hitters towards the end of the year. So imagine that. I'm just saying, like, while it looks bad this year and we can sit there and hold the L or whatever, yeah, I'll hold the L when I'm playing my fucking Scorpio in 4K and have every single game be better and look better on it. Sure, I'll hold that L all goddamn day. Preach, you know? Exactly. I'll hold that shit all day.
But you know what that L is? Legendary.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Look, the narrative. Listen, Z, the narrative's changed, though. You know, I mean, we have to listen. We learned from history, though, Z. Right? Yeah, we sat there the first 2 years of this generation, and Xbox had the 3 even, right? But the first 2 more, where Xbox had the games coming out, and Sony was in a state of sparse. Okay, that's coming from Sony's president. Their own mouth. Wasn't their president? Andrew House came out and said they're sparse. And at the time, the media came out and said, "Listen, if I have $60 in my pocket and I have an Xbox One and I have a PS4, I'm going to buy the PS4 version because why wouldn't I want to go home with a bona fide 1080p experience?" Now wait. Here's the thing, though. Hold up. Now all of a sudden, the minute the Project Scorpio, was mentioned last year, aka the X, when that was announced, the narrative changed to, wait a minute, look at this list of games I have, and just put your chair 20 feet further back. You can't see the difference. So what I'm saying is now us Xbox guys, we rode with that, right?
Yeah.
I love when Jay does that.
Hey, man, it's Sunday, man.
Right?
We get some of that.
That's my
Xbox
sermon.
gospel.
This is my sermon, you know. And I mean, the real deal is, though, but now for the next 2 years, Z, while we got to hold on to Lucky's tail, and this and that, we are going to have the better multi-plats, and we're going through a sparse.
I'm not in disagreement with any of that. But this like saying denying racism isn't happening or it's not real. We know that it's not an even playing field, okay? You will not know that. You know what I mean? Well, you can't go back and say that, the turn of the cheek or the meat shall have the earth. You know it's not an even battlefield. Do you guys see my screen?
No, I understand.
Look at my screen.
I agree with you, Z. I agree with you, but I don't think it's so bad as what you're saying, though.
This is the narrative coming from the top. And look at what they're advertising, what they're pushing. Look at the shit at the bottom. We fucking Disneyland, Rush.
Dude, yeah. Hey, next gen, I get that. That's just for this year, though.
Like me there.
I get, dude, but look,
they got to have. They want to be. Look. Okay, hold on.
15 minutes thing in the middle.
Listen. You cannot have. Wait. PlayStation can have these type of games as well. Nintendo definitely has an abundance of them. Xbox cannot have kitty games.
Hey, we hit over 1,000. Thank you guys. BGST. Yeah, hit that like button. Let's go. Rack that shit up. Let's go.
And sub to everybody on this mother.
Listen.
Yeah.
You got a graphical.
Mega 45. Y'all better take your ass out there.
He's pitching his channel.
Watch DRG. Everybody down at the crossfire.
But listen, you got a graphical showcase in the Rise. We all talk about this to this day. And you choose to enhance Zoo Tycoon and Rush.
Wow. Well, hold on.
Hold on. That's huge.
Here's the thing, Zaire, when you're sitting at the poker table,
Dolby Atmos. Oh my God.
Z, when you're sitting at
the
the
perfect answer.
Z, if me and you we go to the casino, Z, and they say at the end of the game, you got to show your cards. Even if you got a fucking pair of 4s, you got to put them down. Well, okay? So what I'm saying is all they had was a pair of 4s. That's all they can show. That's all they can show. They can't bluff.
Listen, who invested the money? Who the hell is going to buy Rush to put this in 4K HDR?
I have no idea, man.
Z, calm down, brother, man.
Hey, yeah, I get that, Z. Like I get what they're doing. Like, they shouldn't even be pushing that stuff on there. But I don't care that it's coming out. But I just maybe they should.
Right now, we had the show at an hour.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They showed their pair of 4s.
But Sony was an hour. So,
I'm afraid.
I was shocked that show was that long. Weren't you guys? I thought that was going to roll.
I think there was a lot of couch, man. There was a whole lot of couch in that show. But
I'm afraid, guys.
But next gen. Let me ask you this: you've got a good lineup coming out next year. What are you afraid of? You're gonna have the.
Next year. Crap, I'm black. I got high blood pressure and shit. Cheating on my wife. I might be out of here next year. I might be going next year, man.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
That's great.
That is. Well, let me ask you about this real quick, okay? Because they said they announced over 100 enhanced for the One X. Rise of the Tomb Raider was one.
It'll be like 140 by fucking.
Yeah. So just to keep in mind, the PS4 Pro has 59 enhanced games, already over 100 on the One X, and it's not even out yet, including they announced Rise of the Tomb Raider, Witcher 3, and Quantum Break, surprisingly.
That's huge.
Yeah, Remedy has the Scorpio.
Remedy will fucking come back, and they will give that treatment. They're not going to just say, okay, we're going to bump it up. They're going to work on that. I hope they can. Dolby Atmos, too.
Down to Rise of the Tomb? No, Rise, I'm sorry. Tomb Raider?
Yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to get the 4K treatment.
I don't think so. I don't think that was announced.
Since launch, what we exclusive-wise? We had Rise.
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive. Forza Horizon 3 is getting it. Recore. They announced Recore is getting the definitive edition.
Yeah, and they did show. If you guys watched the video today, watch that video. That is shown in the new. That's X gameplay.
Yo, guys, check this out.
Definitely it looks better if you watch it.
Aaron Greenberg sat on the couch and said, "This is what we have to offer right now. Over 100 games." He's like, and that's just for right now. As we keep going, there's more games are adding to the list. Yeah. You're gonna get your Sunset Overdrive. You're pretty much gonna. First party is definitely guaranteed. Even the second party deals, like the Sunset Overdrive.
First party's gonna get like Gears, like what they do with Gears, like what they do with.
And Sunset
Overdrive
really look amazing already.
Stuff like
What
that.
about the Master Chief Collection? Maybe they could have did that or something.
No, they're not touching that.
I wish they would.
They want to forget about that.
They don't want to forget about it.
It's the multiplayer aspect.
They might give it.
The Master Chief Collection.
They might give it.
They're never touching that.
All I want to say is I hope this is not this woman's agenda. I don't know what the hell is going on here.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
Hold on, wait a minute. What's the damn difference between PlayStation over here doing all these remasters for their games, and then you over here saying that it's a problem for the HD?
What?
Well, no, it's not Zoo Tycoon. It's it is Zoo Tycoon. Sorry, yeah, Zoo Tycoon.
No, it wasn't Zoo Tycoon.
One of my all-time favorites, Zaire. Man, don't be hating. Come on, man, Zoo Tycoon remastered.
I'll tell you one thing, because it was after the PUBG, and I remember watching that segment with Shannon, and she was like, and they were like, and we got a huge announcement, and I'm like waiting for that huge announcement. I was waiting for something, but
I get blamed for that shit too. They're like, crap, you promised a huge announcement. I'm like, bitch, they said huge announcement. I report huge announcement. It turns out to be something stupid, like you know what I mean. And I made this comparison on Crossfire, Mooch. You're gonna like this again. Their surprise or their big surprises tend to be like when you were little and your mom's like, we got a big surprise for you, and they take you to the dentist. That's it. Like, you got root canal time, buddy.
How much you want to bet? Says Zoo Tycoon's a Games for Gold in November.
Hey, I already have that game, man. I already have that game. It is a fun game. But again, look, I totally agree with Z. That
maybe we're seeing something here, guys. I mean, listen, we're a product of our means. We've said this so many times. We have to look at what we've said. You can't just ignore the past. We've said that the real champion and the success to a console generation is apparently the third party. The 360 did it last year, PS4. But here's the thing. We now, starting November 7th, and whoever actually has a little loose piece of paper that says they put $100 down on it, okay, have a box that is now the console, the strongest console on the market, and will remain. I don't think Xbox is ever going to let PlayStation take control of the power crown. And listen, but Z, by doing that, you will have the better platform for multi-plats, and that's where the money is.
And that system is also going to be future-proof as well, because it's for every iteration that comes out from Xbox, you have to understand the X. For however many times that these people make these games for it, it's going to look better and better and better and better.
But the issue, my issue is that they can't even show it because they don't have any of the deals.
Hey, you guys want to see something funny? That girl from Cuphead, Danny Boy, tweeted it out that he suddenly loves Cuphead, right? And he tweeted out her picture. And Noof responds, pants tighter than the 2017 Microsoft marketing budget. That shit's funny. Noof, where are them jokes during the show, bro? Come on, man.
know what? I have to say that girl saved the show a little from
Oh yeah, dude.
a
Yeah,
little bit of a dive. Like I was
Hey.
actually that brought me up because like there was there was one boring segment.
The whole goddamn
one.
show was boring, Tim.
There was a couple, but there was one really boring one where there was no news.
Listen,
It was like
Joe
old
aside,
trailers.
That girl
I'm
in the
gonna shut the hell up after you.
and then on the EA show when they showed the actress that was that's playing on Battlefield, that's going to be the lead. character.
Yeah, she got free swag from Microsoft too, an Elite controller and everything.
Mercy.
Right?
Yeah.
As two Xbox fans, all jokes aside, real talk, we have to let them know that this is not cool. Because again, we don't.
I think I've made my voice heard.
I think they know.
Listen,
Hey.
I don't funky fresh out of excuses. Like you know what I mean?
I've made my.
Listen, Phil. Like I don't know how much more I can say it. I've been parading #Fire Shannon, shake shit up. Like you gotta do it.
Yeah, this is
right.
not the end.
I've
don't
been
think
saying
you need
that.
to fire anybody.
Me neither. I don't think nobody needs to be fired.
Tim, you know what's funny, Tim?
I don't think it works like that.
Listen, it probably doesn't work like that, but every single person in this room that I'm aware of, I don't know Chris 100%, but we all are huge sports fans. And me and you, Tim, have gone back and forth a million times. First thing we say the minute the Mets tank, we're like, get rid of that fucking bum Collins. Get rid of that coach. Right? It's the first thing we say. We're calling for a coach's head immediately, and the coach is just sitting on the bench. He's not even hitting the ball. He's not the one that missed it going out into the outfield. So my point being is when we start to actually say, when we actually say that somebody in charge actually maybe should need to take a step down or be replaced, everybody's up in arms. I don't understand how everyone can say it's okay for sports no matter what.
Honestly,
but then the minute we say it here after 4 years,
I think the problem
my
when
idea is that they fundamentally need to have more money flooded through. See, my idea is
Right.
that my
All
personal belief is that Phil has a lot of oversight, or whole. If something big's going to happen, I think it's going to go through his hands
He's the
first.
boss,
I'm
right?
not sure, but I'm not. That's just my opinion.
listen, there's a lot of variables we don't know.
I don't know
Hey,
if the
Mo,
money's
my
been there.
Mo,
But
you guys may know. My question is to you. All jokes aside, what is her job description? What is she in charge of?
She's in charge
the
of
head of Microsoft Studios.
first
Global.
party studios.
I think that
Yeah.
was Aaron's job. That's not Aaron's job. It's her.
No, Aaron is marketing.
Third-party marketing.
Third party marketing.
Isn't that what it's labeled? I could be wrong.
No, he's GM of marketing.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
general manager.
Okay, all right. And Shannon is the head of 343.
Microsoft Studios.
She's in charge of all the first party stuff. Yeah, okay, so Aaron is head of Xbox games marketing at Microsoft. So that's his official thing. Shannon is the head of
He's the GM. I think Nichols is the head of.
She had Phil's
different.
job.
Right.
Well, no, I'm looking at Aaron's Twitter. It says head of marketing.
Right.
Shannon is GM of Microsoft Studios Publishing.
Okay, so that means everything is greenlighted from her.
Yeah,
I don't know though. Like the PUBG, was that hers? I don't.
She was over there. I mean, Aaron probably.
I think
helped with
PUBG's
that.
Mike Ybarra.
Listen,
I said, Mike,
If
you
you're
know,
gonna be,
she had to
if
get
you're
the
gonna be
say-so,
honest,
though, so
PUBG
that's a
is
good move
it's a
from
big
her.
deal.
Tim, you know these guys, but and this is what I said on Crossfire, and I'll say it again. The dream position, if you shake people up, Mike Ybarra, president of Xbox, Phil Spencer goes back as head of first-party games, and you got yourself a guy like Mike, who you know is a no-nonsense guy. Mike will go out there and cut the balls, and then you got Phil who goes out there, and Phil did a hell of a job at first-party games. Outstanding job. Al Pinello's a tech guy. He's a tech guy.
That's what I think. I do think it's their run budgetary. So,
but let me ask you this, Tim, right? Because Matty Beast makes a good point in the chat. He goes, Shannon announced Disney games and Zoo Tycoon Remaster. Boy, she knows the Xbox audience. This is what I'd say, because listen, like she is very casual to be in that position of head of anything in Xbox, right? Because if you look at her Twitter feed and stuff, it's Nintendo Switch, Zelda, Candy Crush. It's like a lot of these really casual games. So I get where some of that comes from. Maybe get a mentor or a co-GM or something mentor.
But really, how long has she had this position?
I just want to say this, right?
Since Phil took over ahead of Xbox.
I really don't think it's that dire.
Listen, hold the phone. Listen, if this comes out sexist, I do apologize. I mean,
get ready for it.
No.
1,000 viewers, get ready.
No. All I'm going to say is this, right? Besides, green, this is not that big, but I'm just saying is this. I don't know her from a can of paint, anything, okay? And if she's, I don't know if she's new at the Microsoft's team, and just like Manny, I'm saying, she doesn't know who I'm marketing her for. Like, you know, I'll give you an example. When Microsoft was hedging their funds on that Xbox Windows to play anywhere, your average console guy don't care fuck about any of that shit, okay? She doesn't know her core. This is not us here.
Yeah, but how do you know that's her decision? That
I'm just asking.
XPA is the Phil's decision, in my opinion.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm asking her if, you know, how you say shit rolls downhill, and she's the head of this.
I don't know. I think you need to know.
I think the Play Anywhere thing is even over Phil's head.
Ultimate, that's true.
That could be true. Yeah.
I've heard that Phil is really a PC guy, and that's why we got this.
He definitely is. Him and Mikey Barra are definite PC guys, and that's one thing that concerned me moving forward. Is like, do these guys realize that, you know, the console
Mike's just honestly
Mike's
just a gamer guy.
Okay,
he prefers
PC.
Okay,
I don't know. I think
listen.
I think
Hey, Mooch, you recall our conversation that we had the other day, right?
Yeah.
And you guys know we've all talked about this. You know, I mean, we came out in front of damage goal, but it's more money to get Microsoft money. Okay, you have a console here, and again, I understand that some Microsoft, all their exclusive mobiles, just they have been on PC. Okay, but you have to still again give your console value. And I said this back then, that even by them putting Gears on PC or whatever the case may be, it didn't help. It actually did more harm than good. I've been playing Gears, you know, safely about 2.5 months. I played against 2 people on PC. So you had the decision again that Microsoft has no true exclusive. You got it again, you know,
Well, listen, just to give Z a little bit of credit here, he's kind of right in one thing. They've tried now. You have to give things a trial and error time, right? We've tried to play anywhere. People have tried this. You buy it on Xbox, you get it on PC. There's nobody talking about it. And Microsoft's not boasting any numbers. They're not saying anything good. They're not saying anything bad. That's a bad thing, guys, in this business.
I think
so. It's not working. And I do think ultimately, and Chris, I'll give you the mic in a second. I think ultimately we have to understand here is that this is ultimately, and listen, this isn't coming from me. This is actually Red Dragon, a lot of other people that are both PC and console, and they do a lot of videos. It is hurting Microsoft's sales of things like Gears and such when you do split it between the two, because there are certain people that I know have personally that have PCs that are just okay enough. They're not great. They're not power rigs. They're just okay enough. They're like, maybe I'll buy it on PC, but I'm not going to buy an Xbox because I don't have to. And they do say that. And that ultimately hurts the console. And the thing is you can see the Gears population is not very big on PC. That's why they blended the two together. They're having a hard time. So ultimately, this was a great attempt. I applaud them, actually. I'd like to see, you know, new ideas come to the forefront. But the problem is this didn't work. And it's time for the PC thing to just become what it is again. PC is PC and console is console. And there's nothing wrong with that, people. There's nothing wrong with that.
Seamus Blackley is his name, right? Yes. And I talk to him from time to time on Twitter, right? Cool guy. And there was an article. Worry had gave me the article.
Worry.
Yeah, shout out to Worry. But anyway, when Seamus Blackley was the head of Microsoft, right? You know, and again, Microsoft is all about.
Shout out to Showstopper, man. Shout out to Showstopper.
Let's say this like I'm such a promise. You know, Microsoft back then, you know, basically whether you choose to admit it, Microsoft really kind of controls PC game, whether you choose to admit it or not. And they had these niche titles back then, with the Age of Empires and the Zoo Tycoon. They said, how can we get the PC market and the console market together? And he was ready up just because, again, we're just two different. We're not the same. You know what I mean? We're not the same consumer. We look at games, you know, true PC guys, you know, look at a game, whatever, say Super Lucky Tales, want to strip everybody naked, put a bunch of mods, and that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Cool. But console guys just want to sit down, plug, and play. That's it. You know what I mean? And we're what you call hardcore, right? You know, day in, day great. Xbox guy. I have a red cable PC. I've used the Play Anywhere one time, Killer Instinct, and it crashed. We don't have any desire to do that. My thing, before you sort of switch focus on trying to please this PC crowd, first lock down the console side of things first, okay?
I think they just, I think the Xbox division used that for their higher ups, for people above the Xbox division, to make them happy with their whole, you know, Windows 10 services and everything like that. That's what I feel like they tried to do with the whole Play Anywhere. And it's literally, it's not up to the Xbox division. It's above that.
So that's why I said, again, and maybe, and I got this big shout out, you know, people, you know, oh, why would you say it? I would rather them, again, let them, if they're going to spin off the Xbox division, let it stand on its own and do its own thing, okay?
What I think is going to happen, ultimately, I think Play Anywhere is going to be phased out, and I think it's going to be replaced by Games Pass.
What they?
Oh, that is a.
Well, listen. Here's something like listen, all right, like Tim, like you'll be the first to know, and you know a little bit more than the rest of us about a lot of stuff, even though kind of you're like southbound, where if you know something you won't say anything. But if they were like here's the thing, I'm sure that when they were planning Halo 6, they probably had thought about PC all along, but with the mediocre reception, is that even something that they go forward with? They might not even go with PC for Halo 6. You know what I mean? And
I don't think they should.
I don't think they should either. Like, I wouldn't want to like mix it up.
That's a big telltale sign. That's going to be
like we'll know.
I think they're going to personally do the PC. They're going to do XBA. But if I was going to do it, and I have a real unpopular position with this, but if I was going to do this, I would do a day in day date of Windows 10 Steam Store and console. I know that would freak people out, but I just think that for the game, it would fucking explode the game. But in my opinion, that's a unpopular opinion, but that's just my opinion on that.
Right.
But I'd rather, if it all be with that all being said, I think it's smarter to keep it exclusive,
console,
or maybe exclusive to Games Pass, because people want to say I have things that others don't, and that's what it just comes down to.
Yeah.
I think exclusivity matters. I think if XPA is positive for smaller titles you can play on your laptop, but for big games, the heavy hitters, I always been of the
because guess what, exclusives matter to your hardcore, and just like a more powerful console matters to your hardcore. So why like continually like shit on that or whatever? Like again, I don't care. But I'm with you, Tim. This is where I'll agree with you, Tim. Right? If you are gonna put your shit on PC anyway, you might as well put it where people will buy the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They sure as shit ain't gonna buy it on the Windows Store.
Well, this is where I made the decision to where I changed my tune a little bit. For the Gears and for the Halos, things like that. No, do not touch those. Do not bring those over to play anywhere. But for games like Pug, for basically any PC game any game that's come on the PC first, and you're going to bring it over to the Xbox, then you can have those games play anywhere, because they already have an audience over there on the PC, and you're over here you're adding the Xbox fan base to that. So I think that could be a good marriage that way. You know what I'm saying? But for the Xbox exclusives, like with that came out there, like Sunset Overdrive and all those other games, let them just stay on the console primarily.
Yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's just I don't. Listen, man. I believe green, man. I do, and I'm heavily invested within this, in this console. So a person like me, whatever the case, right? I'm not someone claiming to be neutral and. I'm joking. I'm a neutral, but always that's the Xbox. I'm not one of these Twitter accounts with the little eggs. So now I'm not gonna buy it. No, I put my money where my mouth is. I support the platform. So when I voice my, thing as a voice of concern, same thing I told Phil right at the disabled thing. You know what I mean? I'm a right-handed guy. I bullshit not. I told him then I had more faith in the product with the original Xbox, even though they was getting their teeth kicked in thoroughly by the PlayStation 2. You know what I mean? And also I told Sal this too. Going from all the games we had, all different Sudeki and all these different original games on the original Xbox, into what we are now, just guaranteed that Gears, Forza, and the Halo. And I understand Microsoft is a business, and sometimes I think they're just too good at business that they're not willing to go out there and take a chance.
But there's growing pains with this as well. I mean, I'm going to hear the excuse. I'm going to hear the excuse. Well, Phil's been there since the dawn of Xbox. But Phil was not the head of Xbox. Okay. And then all the other people that shifted, there's growing pains. There has been mistakes made. But the thing of it is that you got to fail first in order to know what works and what doesn't work. But that takes time as well.
Listen, this has been 3 generations, okay? Phil's been 3 generations, okay? I don't understand how you go from the 360 and into what we have right now and not knowing your.
Well, here's the thing. It's not an Xbox problem. Hold on. It's not an Xbox problem. It's an industry problem. It costs more money to make these games, and so the little things that you're talking about they're still there. They're just indie now.
Okay. Okay. Well, you look what Sony said, right? And all credit to them. Real shit, right? Said we release 10 games, only 3 and make money, right? Cool.
Yeah.
I understand the Sunset.
It's like that with Xbox too. Okay,
I understand the Sunset Overdrive wasn't the big hit that they thought it was, and also look at the time that they released it, and during the holiday season, it could be a bunch of different numbers. But again, that's a great game. I played through it, I beat it. Invest in that game. You know what I mean? You know, invest.
Here's the problem, though, right? That's like that. I mean, that really goes back to the other problem that's not an IP that they own. That's not a studio that they own. You know what I mean? Like
to make a new one. You know what I mean? Money talk bullshit. Whoa.
I mean, they could. Like, they said they want to make one. So, yeah, I agree. It would be cool to see them make them. I don't think they will. But I think it would be great. I think it'd be awesome. But, you know, like, Phil is probably on notice now that he sees the hardcore gamers wanting something. You know, they have to do something. Here's the problem, right? Like I was arguing with the dude who I like. I forget his name.
All day.
No, it wasn't all day. It was
all day. I saw all day. All day you were fighting him.
Yeah. I was arguing with him, right? Because he was saying that, you know, Phil's fucked up and is this and that and the other thing. And I was just telling him, like, he's like, we need something. We need exclusive. I was like, listen, you can't have it both ways. Either you want your name. Because he was mad about the games that they've canceled. I was like. And they've learned their lesson. They're not announcing games years and years out anymore. And he's like, yeah, but now we don't know anything. So which one do people want? Do they want them announcing games 3 or 4 or 5 years out, and with the possibility of them getting canceled?
This goes back to what we were talking about a little while ago. We're kind of nobody ever really wants to get to it. Crap kind of hits it, and then everybody just wants to scare us away from it. There's a problem with first-party studios.
Yeah.
Okay, because here we are. It's the third showing. Last E3, this E3, and GamesCom. Okay, I'm not even counting last GameCom, where we just seen Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, right? It's the same shit, guys. So what I'm saying is this. I understand Phil doesn't want to show the future, but the future is not next fall. That's pretty much the present. And we don't even know what's coming next fall. So what that tells me is they don't really have anything. And the other problem I have with this is that they've had 3. Well, we don't know unless you have an 8 ball.
Here's what happened, man.
Let me finish. I want to see where you're going with this.
The other thing I'm trying to say is this. Now, if Phil is gonna, if we're gonna find out if they have a problem or not, because we're gonna find out next year if Phil does have a problem with first party studios, which I think they do, then you're gonna see him buy every marketing right to every third-party game next year, like Sony did. Well, yeah,
they have to.
They have to for the X. They've got to be able to show it on stage.
Okay, listen, hey, Crap, Mooch, and I'm with brother. I'm with you, my brother from up. I'm with you 135%. And we had an hour-long conversation before. And to have what you just saying, Mooch, I mean, Crap, it's not the issue about them showing games in advance. That's never been it. It's the fact that you cancel. Games get canceled all the time.
Right.
By them showing or talking about, guess what? We have something to talk about.
That's right.
We have a bright future. It's not about them showing 2-3 years off. The problem with Microsoft, again, is that they don't have. The reason
Zaire right is, listen, the minute you start arguing or getting into a discussion with a Sony fan, what do they throw at you? Death Stranding. Death Stranding's on the way. No, it's not. It's like 3-4 years out. Like that Andrea Renee today, she was going back and forth with me and another person on Twitter. She's like, well, they clearly showed The Last of Us 2. That's not even in full production. That's not coming till 2020. But people will use that as hope and a prayer that their console of choice is coming out.
They did the same thing with Shenmue 3. They do the same thing with...
Phil needs to realize that... Listen, I understand Phil's human. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake. But the mistakes that have been made over the last 3 years are detrimental. The detrimental things, you do need to show your games a bit in advance. At least a year or two out, you have to. Yes, they could get canceled.
I did that with Ori.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, we have to do that. You know, the other thing is he's got to buy in third party. Stop with this nonsense in the kumbaya. Because the minute he kept the third party deals off the table, Sony scooped them up. So whether Phil liked it or not, the kumbaya unity candle wasn't lit because we didn't get the content. Sony fans did.
You need third party. I agree with you. Yeah,
I'm going to shut the hell up after this, right? I'm not going to say another guy there. This shit going to kick in. Woo! Listen, Mooch, my brother, and what you're saying is absolutely something I've been saying forever, right?
Right.
But on the flip side of it, you're right. You know what, Phil? I don't understand this. Your job and your obligation, you know what I mean, it's not to Sony and Nintendo guys, okay? You don't think it's good for gaming or the industry for us to have stuff first. Don't worry about what's old. It's to us right here. And again, all I say to say this, okay? And I don't buy this because people always tell me that 343 or whoever is not Naughty Dog. I don't buy it. I think the guys are just as talented. And again, and this is coming from somebody within the loop, and I'm not going to say anybody's name. It's not that important. But when I said the mental reference, this came from a guy. No one goes to school just to make one game, okay? And and again, we all have our different opinions of this. You just think about if Rare only made one game, made multiple games. Naughty Dog took 10 people from the Uncharted 3, whether you like the game or not, and started them on The Last of Us, right? And again, it was huge for them. And again, you mean to tell me with Naughty, I'm sorry, 343, I'm sorry, with over in it, found it.
Golly, we're
no, we're not getting into this shit again.
I knew.
I am not getting into this shit again.
Microsoft, what was Microsoft's biggest exclusive for this holiday season? Okay, we gotta be clear. This was Crackdown, and it's not even made by them. That's
an issue, but I said that was an issue. Here's the thing. This is what Phil did, and like you can look at it any way you want. Phil went in there, started trimming the fat. You can say that's damage control all you want, but the companies that aren't putting shit out on time that they owned, they got rid of. Yeah. And that's the fucking bottom line. You can look at the results. That's the facts.
Okay.
Right? They kept the ones that put their games out on time. You have Mojang, which obviously Minecraft. You have Rare, who's working on Sea of Thieves, and that's supposed to be out, but you're not going to get rid of Rare for the simple fact that the name is still popular. You have 343, which they do their shit on a goddamn dime. Every 3 years, you're going to get a Halo. Turn 10, you're going to get a Forza Motorsport every other year, and and the Coalition, they're gonna led by Rod, and that team voted to do Gears over anything else. So I mean,
and they're still working on
it. Let me ask you one question. I promise the last question I ask you, okay? Everything you're saying is absolutely true. Right? Absolutely true. Everything you just said, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, it was considered all, like I said, two sides to this point here, okay? At the end of the look, when you think of playground games, what do you think when you think of playground games?
Forza Horizon.
And you know what their next game is?
They also built an entirely different studio.
No, but it's still being about it because it's not as easy. It'd be easy for them. It's not as easy for them to open more studios. No, it's not. You already have people. You can add on to what you got. That's then you got more. That's a headache to my building a new studio. Okay, but you have 343 alone has about 500 employees. Okay, and again,
no, I think they got like 200 or 250.
It's like 450. Someone sent me a link. It's like 400 people. It's a huge studio. And again, so their next game that Playground is making is an RPG MMO,
which they opened up and hired 100 people or 150 people for.
We're talking about Microsoft.
You know what? Okay, you keep bringing this up about 343. Let me break a scenario down for you. Everybody, hold on. Let me make this point. Because you keep bringing this same fucking scenario over and over and over again.
Oh, let me do something else.
I'm just saying. Just think of Ubisoft. Ubisoft. They have great ideas with their games, fantastic ideas. But what is their problem with their games?
Horrible internet.
Well, just their games come out broken. They're rushed. They're put in this position. If you got Phil Spencer that wants his games to be, you got Killer Phil that wants his games to be on time, and you want 343 to make 3 or 4 different type of titles, you're going to have another Ubisoft.
What?
You see what I'm saying? Because if you're trying to rush these games out. Just think about it. Ubisoft have great ideas, and they come out with games, but they got a timeline.
Okay, listen.
That's what I'm saying. Just buy new fucking studios. Just get a new studio.
Listen, I don't want to what a developer told me, right? And this is my right-handed guy. Well, you two guys, the same guy gave me all my information about the Scorpio. It's coming from their mouth. You know what I mean? Again, when you look at someone, because these people swap talent all the time. Okay, they do. Microsoft, 75 people, Microsoft pick them up. Right. So again. They've been in the business for forever, okay? They are more than able and capable to make other games, okay? You know what I mean? They are, you know what I mean? Whether Microsoft, look, Destiny, could we not agree that's the biggest multiplayer this generation? You had it under your roof. That was under your roof. What is Microsoft? You think about Microsoft, you think about Xbox Live, right? Halo, multiplayer swing. You got the Xbox One. Gears of War. That's the big thing for the 360.
Do you really think Destiny would have been as big as an exclusive compared to being a multiplayer?
When Microsoft,
I got this.
Hey, it's not like Microsoft was like, "Hey, Bungie, go take off." In fact, they got really pissed off about it, but they were able to buy themselves out of the clause, right? It's not even just that they didn't want to be owned. That's the thing. It had nothing to really do with Halo or anything like that. They didn't want to be owned, but
it's the same reason Insomniac broke away from Sony and they wanted to become like this free independent developer.
Okay, let me say this. Now, whether you choose to guys believe me or not, maybe it's not the content of the character, my character, maybe the color of the skin. I have no reason to lie. My opinion is my opinion. Okay.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Is this, okay? What was told to me now, I'm paraphrasing here. And if I'm saying something, more or less, I stand corrected, okay? They want you, people are artists at the end of the day, okay? They like to create. And the people that stayed behind wasn't because they loved Halo, it was for job security. Not everyone has a 7-figure salary. You know what I mean? What was told to me again, he said, we don't own that game. That's not our game. You know, I just have twins. I have a car insurance. I have mortgages. You know what I mean? I have bills. So again, just called job security. No, like you said, you know, that's not, you know, Halo is cool. We don't know that goddamn game. No, but people again, you know, want to create. You can't. Again,
dude, who though? Like you're talking about what? Like one person? Like what? So what? You got like
they filled out the staff with
like this is all I'm saying. This is all I'm saying, right? And this was I got an argument with somebody on Twitter about this the other day too, because they're trying to do the same argument that holds no water, and I can totally tell you why. Because they're like, why don't you bring in 100 people under 343 and have them make a game? And I'm like, if you're bringing 100 people in, they're not true 343 anyway. So why not bring in 100 people and start a new studio? That would make much more sense, because when you have, let me explain this, their first party's struggling, so the idea to have them stop doing the games that are actually like clockwork or the ones that are doing good, or split them off and water them down, when in my opinion 343 still hasn't had a perfect Halo yet. They have to master these games first, and we haven't had a perfect Gears yet under the Coalition. So hey, dude, in the chat, Gears in fact did not flop. Over 6 million players on there. So yeah, you can sit there and try to say that the game flopped, but at the end of the day, that's a lot of goddamn people on Gears.
Look like this, okay? Nintendo, right? I'll give you an example. Nintendo, right? They make multiple games outside of the Mario. They make multiple games. Okay, I'm not going to buy the fact that you're going to say that people at 343 are less talented than again who have the resources.
I think I know what you're saying a little bit clearer, man. Like I know you want them to hire like 100 more people. And they don't need it. Well, see, I don't know what you're saying.
You say, well, then Halo or Gears are going to be pushed back. We didn't have to wait 8 years for Uncharted. Now, what you like? I don't really care for the Uncharted.
Dude, but again, let me just point this out real quick. You're talking about Naughty Dog, and I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Is a class probably the best developer in the industry right now, right? And this is what happened. They split off. They did. It is true that they kind of split. But guess what? When they split, it really watered down Uncharted 3, which was not nearly as good a game as Uncharted 2. And now they're back together, and they only do that split occasionally when they're finishing off one project and starting another. And it ended up, you know what I'm saying? Like, not every studio can do that. Here's a little fact that a lot of people don't realize how intelligent I am when it comes to knowing some of these facts, right? Like look, Rare and Lionhead Studios, they both had multiple teams. How many games did we see from the B team from Rare and Lionhead? You know, from Lionhead was 0. They all were canceled, right? And then we also, not only were those games canceled, but because they took away from the main force, we had subpar Lionhead Studio games, subpar Fable franchise. And when you look at Rare, they canceled the Perfect Dark reboot, the kart racer that they were doing, the Cameo sequel, because they were pulling the weight. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, it does not make sense. If you're going to bring people in and you're Microsoft, make a new studio.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Z, ultimately, here's the problem with the conversation. It's almost like saying what we need to do is we need to make oil and water combine. It's not going to happen. So the problem here is 343 is not going to split. Let's look at all the games that have come out in the past year and a half. Anytime you talk to the developer, they're like, hey, yeah, you know, they have them all sitting on a couch, and they're like, yeah, the 6 of us, we started a team, and we had this concept, and we grew this idea. Listen, that doesn't happen at 343 because they're working balls to the wall 24/7 on Halo. They don't have, if they find 15 guys in the corner, like scratching and sniffing around a different idea, they're like, your ass is fired. You know what I mean? Like, so what I'm saying, Z, is what you're asking for, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's the problem.
Listen, not going to happen and can't happen is two different things. Okay?
Right, but we shouldn't be talking about hype. We shouldn't be talking about hypotheticals.
Hey, if you know Phil does not stand for those delays and shit. He hates them.
Right.
Like, I'm saying, but again, you run into delays. You get delayed all the time. Okay, and again, this is coming somebody from within that loop, within that circle there, right? Look, I'll give you an example. Hellblade, whether you like it or love it, right?
Yeah.
Like a little bit 15 people. Okay, 15 people. So again, we talking about a company as N343. Again, you take even the greatest.
Yeah, but you're talking about
have the resources.
That was 10 people in 3 years of development.
Okay. Right, and the fact that the game, you know what I'm saying, is a beautiful game. Like it's cool, but that game is not going to be for everybody because it's not all action packed.
Right, which is why I think Z.
Whether you like it or not, that's all that I'm saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, the thing is, though, Z, is I'm all about what you're saying, but all I'm saying is that there's so much talent out there. Right. There's so many young people that want to make a game that
That's
are hungry.
what they need.
Go hire the talent.
Look, here's the thing.
We got the Don out there. Go hire him in the team.
Everything. Listen, everything comes back to sports, guys. Think about this for a second. When we were all younger, okay, the people that were playing sports were probably between the ages like 28 and 40. Now the people playing sports that we're rooting for are between 18 and 25. Listen, my point being is that there's so much young talent that's faster, smarter, and wiser. Why take a team like 343 that's older and split them up? Go get a new team.
But listen, what I'm saying is this crap.
I don't want Burger King to make a damn Big Mac. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Cadillac to make Mercedes.
Hold on.
Let me this, right? If
come on, bro.
Bungie, I'm sorry, 343 gives us another AAA game, right? Do we have a problem with that?
I would have a problem with not doing Halo or doing a poorer Halo because you took people off the project.
All you have to do, again, you can still get those young people, but you can take one person, a main guy, to oversee what they're doing. To start
well, what would be the point of that? This is because that person's going to have a first-person shooter mentality. Get some young hotshot right out of the school with ideas. You should have got on the horn. Maybe got Cliffy B, as much of a douche as he is. You should have had him, gave him his own studio. Kojima gave him his own studio. You should have done something like that. That's something they need.
With 343, here's the thing here. You don't want to use 343 anyway. They still haven't proven themselves as the Halo developers. They're still trying to come out with that Halo where the community is like, oh shit, Halo's back.
That may never happen again.
So with that being said, 343's name is still kind of in the mud a little bit within the gaming community until they come out with that. They haven't proven themselves yet.
All right, now again, this is me talking to somebody within the loop, okay? And again, all right, it's there within the loop, okay? Mm-hmm. What was told to me, because I was saying, we don't go to school and put ourselves $100,000 in debt to make one thing.
Dude, look, hey, this is stupid. We've been killing this shit. Yeah. Okay, yo, Z. I get what you're saying. We all know what you think, Z. They should make something else. I humbly disagree.
You as a gamer, you should want something else.
Dude, I want Halo and Gears and stuff. I don't, you know what I mean? Like to me, like where you're like you get more games if they do that. Look, you're not getting more games. You're just getting an unproven game instead of it. To me, look, this is if you're Microsoft, open up a couple new studios. Ask people, are you happy here? Which studio do you want to work at? Let them. If they're not happy making Halo, then you shuffle them out, right?
Crap.
When you make a comment to Eurogamer that 343 and the coalition is making something outside of the Gears and Halo universe.
Dude, here's the thing. 343 is they help on Halo Wars. They helped on Master Chief Collection. They're not going to make.
I said outside of the Halo universe. I mean,
I would personally. Personally, I buy, but that could be anything. You know what I mean? It's like I don't think we're gonna see. It could be anything. No, we don't know. Like it's not gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, look.
GamesCom.
Yo, Gauntlet in the chat. Naughty Dog is again. You missed my point. They're a class developer all in themselves. BioWare have different teams. Just look what happened when they put the B team on Andromeda. Now that franchise is dead.
No, it's not.
Crap. We should send this topic to the chat with 1 if you agree with Next Gen, 2 if you agree with Crap, and then we just move on with games.
Well, yeah, I gotta wrap it up anyway because I promised Mooch I'd keep it about an hour, and I'm a little bit over that. And I'm
I gotta go make
right now, man.
Hey, I'm trying to watch SummerSlam, y'all. So come on.
Oh yes, exposed. Crap said he has no time for Game of Thrones, but he's watching SummerSlam.
Dude, I'm a wrestling fan. It's the 4-way, man. You got Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe.
What about the Delete guys? Are they fighting?
21.
The Hardy Boys, man.
You heard what I said? Mooch, they leaked the episode online already. I watched it on Facebook.
You saw it?
We're not going to spoil that for anybody. But you know what I want to do? You know what I do? I do want to give Mooch, since you guessed it on here, man. Why don't you tell everybody what you got going on this week? I don't know. You don't got Crossfire, but you might
Crossfire.
Have something.
Yeah, I'm taking this week off from Crossfire because I do have some stuff going on.
I'll host it.
Thank you. There you go, folks. It's still on. So that'll be off, but then we will be back. We got M&C Mornings on, I think it's going to be, my channel next Sunday.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be.
If I can get Jay Williams off of his vacation, I will definitely have about two reviews. One is done, and one's in the works. I'll have 2 reviews out this week.
Yo, Mooch, crap, I gotta say, man, it was fun sharing Saturday, man. I'm gonna start a new podcast on Sunday. Go on time with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a freak thing, Xbot. We won't be invading the next podcast.
No, I'm not even being sarcastic. That was awesome, yo.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Xbot.
And like K Mega, what do you got going on? Because I know you want to plug shit too.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, we have the GRG podcast every Friday night, right?
GRG.
Right after the Crossfire. So, man, check us out, man. It's growing. We have a great panel. If you want to hear somebody that's my complete opposite all day, is that person. And we also have our own Donald Trump. So, man, live wire. So, yeah, man, I do the multiplayer, the next podcast with Xbox 448 and, the Don and the rest of the crew out there. And, you know what I'm saying? And then big shout out to Intro Media Gaming. You know what I'm saying? Much love.
Yes.
Man. Great.
Yeah. Awesome. Xbot, what do you got going on, brother?
Yeah, I just like to say, visit my channel, Xbot448. I am on the verge of hitting 3,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody.
Nice.
If you haven't subscribed yet, what the hell are you waiting for? And of course, next podcast on my channel every Saturday between 6 and 7. Yo.
All right. Tim Dog, what do you got going on? Just your Twitter, because I know that's your thing.
Yeah, my Twitter, and I'm going to be, if you guys want to follow, I'll be going on Rands, I think, in a few minutes.
Oh, you're double duty back, throwing it back to the old roundtable days, huh?
yeah. Just for a little. I can't do the full show, I don't think.
Yeah. Good stuff. And Chris Steele, what do you got, man?
Yeah, I got the Chris Steele program over at iTunes and your favorite podcast app. This week, I got our pal Randall Thor coming up on the show. Going to talk to him about GamesCom, maybe a little bit of music. I don't know. We're just going to see where it happens. And for everybody else, bye-bye, motherfucker!
All right, and Z, man, what do you got, man? What do you got? You got all kinds of shit on your channel, man.
Hard-working man on showbiz. Listen, next year, 720. I'm a Craps Black brother from another mother. Subscribe to the channel, NXTGN720. But I want to say a shameless plug, and also shout out everyone that signed up again for, like I said, with the Patreon. I'm looking for new talent, new guys that we want to get into YouTube, whether it's streaming, podcasting, or whatever the case may be.
Hey, I just want to point out I'm about to
the multiplayer.
I'm going to retweet this. GameStop officially did pre-order the Xbox One X, trade in your console from 11/7 to 11/19, and you can get $200 towards your X. So I'm going to retweet that to anybody that wants to check that out. So they are offering up to $200 towards the X officially. GameStop will be from 11/7 to 11/19 or blah blah blah. So yeah, good stuff there. We do got a lot of cool stuff. We had almost 1,100 watching us tonight. Over 800 still. Hit that like button. We appreciate it. Remember, man, BGST is on every Sunday. We did it special on my channel this week because we did the live show on Z's, so we did the recap on mine, kind of like what we always do. So thank you guys all so much for coming out here and supporting the show.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. Subscribe to everybody on here. They all got great channels and content. Follow them on Twitter.
We do. Mostly, whether it's all those guys doing everything, owns his stuff, right. Shout out to you guys, man.
Yeah, exactly. And Mooch,
we all brothers, we all family here, man. You know what I'm
Mooch, I know you were podcasted out, but I do appreciate you giving us your.
We did like 4 days in a row. It was like,
I know.
It's a lot of podcasts.
But everybody likes to hear your opinion on this kind of shit.
Hey,
so.
I loved it, man. Today was in all, and I know everyone wants to get out of here, but it really was. It was what we thought it would be, folks. That's what GamesCom is. GamesCom, no one likes to hear it in Europe, but it's E3's little brother. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's never been more than that.
E3's annoying little brother.
Yes. That harps at you and kicks you in the shins. But yeah, nonetheless, great to be on, and love BGST. Always will be.
Hell yeah. And we'll catch you guys next time. Rag 'em up. Later.